The Tortoise's Dream of the Sky. Once upon a time, in a quiet meadow, bordered by a shimmering lake and tall whispering trees, lived a humble tortoise named Timothy. His shell was a beautiful shade of green and yellow, but his legs were short and stubby, making every journey a slow and arduous one. Timothy loved his little patch of earth, but he often watched the birds with envy. They soared freely through the skies, their wings gliding over hills and rivers. Rabbits raced through the fields, squirrels darted up tall trees, and even the frogs leaped joyously from one lily pad to another. Meanwhile, Timothy plodded along with his heavy shell, unable to go far or fast. Why am I cursed to move so slowly? Timothy often sighed to himself. He dreamed of seeing the world beyond the meadow, the mountains, the oceans, and the golden fields he'd only heard about in stories. One sunny morning, while Timothy rested near the lake, he noticed two ducks paddling gracefully on the water. Their feathers shimmered in the sunlight. One was snowy white, and the other had a brilliant splash of purple. They quacked cheerfully, splashing water as they played. Timothy watched them, a pang of longing in his heart. Summoning his courage, he called out, "Excuse me, dear ducks. May I ask you something?" The ducks paddled over, curious. "Of course," said the white duck. "What troubles you, friend?" Timothy lowered his head shyly. "I've spent my whole life here in this meadow, but I've always wanted to see the world. You birds are so lucky. You can fly anywhere you please. I wish I could do the same." The purple duck tilted her head thoughtfully. "It's true that we can fly, but not everything is perfect for us either. Sometimes we envy creatures like you who always have their homes with them." Timothy was surprised. "You envy me? But I'm stuck here, with my slow legs and heavy shell. I can't go anywhere far." The white duck smiled. "What if we could help you fly? Just for a little while. Would you like that?" Timothy's eyes widened. "You can do that? How?" The purple duck quacked excitedly. "We have an idea. We'll find a strong stick. You'll bite down on it tightly, and we'll each hold an end with our beaks. Together, we can lift you into the air." Timothy's heart raced with excitement. "Really? Oh, that would be a dream come true. But is it safe?" The white duck nodded. "It will work, but you must follow one very important rule. No matter what happens, don't open your mouth. If you do, you'll lose your grip and fall." Timothy promised he'd keep his mouth shut. The ducks quickly found a sturdy stick and brought it to Timothy. With great determination, he clamped his jaws around the stick. The ducks grasped each end with their beaks and flapped their wings with all their might. Slowly, Timothy felt himself being lifted off the ground. Higher and higher they went, until the meadow, lake, and trees became tiny specks below. Timothy gasped in awe, but he remembered not to open his mouth. The view was breathtaking. He saw winding rivers, sprawling forests, and fields of golden wheat stretching as far as the eye could see. He even glimpsed the distant mountains, their snowy peaks glistening in the sunlight. As they flew over a bustling village, Timothy noticed a group of crows perched on a rooftop. The crows were astonished to see a flying tortoise. One of them called, "What a strange sight! A tortoise in the sky. Tell us, oh mighty tortoise, how did you manage such a feat?" Timothy's pride swelled. He wanted to tell them about his cleverness and the duck's help. Without thinking, he opened his mouth to speak. But before he could finish, the stick slipped from his teeth. Timothy tumbled through the air, flipping and spinning as the wind roared past his ears. The ducks cried out in alarm, flapping frantically to catch him. But it was too late. With a loud splash, Timothy landed in the lake below. Water sprayed everywhere, and ripples spread across the surface. The duck swooped down and landed beside him. "Timothy, are you all right?" the white duck asked, her voice full of concern. Timothy poked his head out of the water, dripping wet and dazed. His shell had protected him from harm, but his pride was bruised. "I'm fine," he mumbled, embarrassed. "I should have kept my mouth shut, just like you warned me." The purple duck quacked kindly. "Don't be too hard on yourself. You got to see the world, didn't you? And now you've learned an important lesson." Timothy nodded slowly. "Yes, I have. Sometimes it's better to stay humble and quiet than to let pride get the best of you." The duck smiled and helped Timothy back to the shore. As he crawled onto the soft grass, he looked up at the sky with a mixture of awe and gratitude. He might not have wings, but for a brief moment, he had soared among the clouds. From that day on, Timothy was content with his life in the meadow. He still dreamed of faraway places, but he also learned to appreciate the beauty of his own little corner of the world. And whenever the ducks visited, they would laugh together about their grand adventure. The moral of the story: pride and impatience can lead to misfortune. But every experience, even a fall, teaches us something valuable. Sometimes, the greatest joy comes from appreciating what we already have. This version is tailored to fit the requested length while maintaining engaging details and a meaningful conclusion. Let me know if you'd like further edits.